everyone, and welcome to the latest news video. This month I've got lots to talk about. We've got Oasis, we've got Blur, we've got books, I've got graphic design posters, I've got new CD releases coming out. So please get settled in, ready for this video. But before we get into it all, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also leave a thumbs up on this video and any further past videos that you might have seen before. Also, leave any comments down below, and all the help is greatly appreciated. So now we're past all that, let's get into all the news for the past month. Now, first up, I'm going to go through some books that have come up over some, not new books as such, but re-releases. First off, we have got Jarvis Cocker's Good Pop, Bad Pop, and we've also got Graham Coxon's Verse, Chorus and Monster. Now these both came out second half of last year. Both great books, but now they're available in the smaller paperback version. So if you've waited because you didn't want these two clunky things and you might have wanted them in your backpack to go on holiday or whatever, you can now buy them both. Both available in paperback. You can go buy them now. Definitely worth picking up if you haven't already. Two great books there. If you're from another planet and you don't know who these people are, Graham Coxon was in Blur and Jarvis Cocker was the lead singer of Pulp. Just in case you don't know who they are and you're watching this video for the first time, just out of curiosity, that's who they are. Now next up, this is a book, not so much an autobiographical book, it is a storybook, and it is called Love in the Time of Britpop. Now this is a book by Tim Woods. Now, I've spoken to Tim a couple of times on Twitter, and this book has been reprinted again now. There are some more copies available. It is a great little read. I took this on holiday last year, loved it, read it front to back, and I especially liked it because it mentions my hometown of Scunthorpe in there. It's a great little book. Definitely pick it up and give it a read. Lots of bands thrown in there for good measure. Lots of bands you'll know, and definitely some you might not have heard of. So yeah, go pick this is a good little gem to have in your little collection. Definitely worth picking up. Right, so that's the three books out of the way. Up next, I have got a new graphic designer who's come on the scene with some new material. Now this is Dan Cook Design, and he is designing posters and prints to go up on your music room wall or just decorate anywhere with your favourite bands. Now I like these designs a lot. It's got the name of the band surrounded by song titles that the band have done. Now these ones that are on screen now are a little bit psychedelic, I feel, on the side, especially the Blur one. But I do like them. And as well as Blur and Oasis, there are Arctic Monkeys, there's the Beatles, there's the Vaccines. You know, he's got your favourite bands covered for indie bands, guitar bands. So definitely go check out Dan Cook Design. You can find him on Etsy, and there's a link down below. Now, over the last month, the late 90s band Unbelievable Truth announced that they were reforming for a gig that was in September. It's to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the debut album Almost Here, and it's on the 15th of September at Jericho Tavern, Oxford. Now, unfortunately, this did sell out within 48 hours. All the tickets had sold out, so if you are interested and you wasn't aware, then you're going to have to go check out the secondary market if you're an Unbelievable Truth fans. Now, this already adds another gig to an already impressive lineup for 2023. There's so many bands. You've got all the Blur, Oasis, you've got Dodgy and Supernatural playing together, you've got Shed 7 and Cast playing together later on. The list of bands that are reforming and getting back together this year in 2023 is absolutely phenomenal. So following on from that, I'm going to give you a little Suede tidbit now. Now Suede have put up on their YouTube channel a remastered video for their song So Young. So if you fancy going watching So Young in the remastered version, I don't know, must be different to the original version, but definitely go over to their YouTube channel and check that out. Right, let's move on to some bigger band news, should we say. So let's talk about Oasis for the past month. Now, Normally I would do an Oasis talk video by itself, but I'm including it here on the news video. So first of all, on Twitter, Liam announces that he's going to play Definitely Maybe in full next year. He's announced that that's happening. Now this is to mark the album's 30th anniversary, and these are going to be amazing gigs, and they will definitely be worth attending. Do I think the tickets are going to be expensive? Yes, they are. But if you want to hear Liam Gallagher singing Oasis's debut album in full, you're gonna want to go to these gigs. That's the first thing I've got for Oasis. Next up, number 2, you could say, Noel has said that he has found some lost recordings of Definitely Maybe that were labelled up wrong by Sony. Yeah, as if Sony was going to label up. He might be telling the truth, but come on. And he said these are also going to be re-released next year. He's looked at them and they're being put together, so there's another Definitely Maybe box set being re-released next year. That's happening. New old songs, you could say. So all the Oasis fans are going to go mental, going to rush out and buy this new box set that they've got songs of, which is great. I'll probably end up getting it myself, you know what I mean? But he says it's the new songs. How different they're going to be, who knows? We're going to have to wait and see some next year. Now, for me, this is where things start to get a little bit weird, and I'm at a standstill as to what's happening. Do I feel that they've already spoken to each other and them two reforming and doing Oasis together is going to happen? Yes, I do. I think it's happening. It's not an if or when. It's happening. It's just they're not talking about it in public. Because it feels weird that they're both out there saying that they're going to be celebrating the anniversary of Definitely Maybe in their own way. Why would you go? It just seems wrong to me. Why would you keep doing it to distract the public attention, I feel, from the fact that it's happening, it's already been agreed, everyone in the background has said yes, they've been talking to each other for months or even years, you know what I mean, and just been hyping it up, getting the hype train rolling, and when it announces, people are just going to go crazy, then they'd go crazy already. You know what I mean? It's happening. I feel it's going to happen. So I don't think Oasis fans have to worry. It's going to happen. Is it going to happen next year for Definitely Maybe? I'd like to think so. If it's not, and Liam does end up doing Definitely Maybe by himself, then it's definitely going to happen the year after. It'll definitely happen in 2025. Because you know as well as I do, it's not just Liam and it's not just Noel. You'll have Bonehead there. Liam now already has Bonehead on stage with him. Bonehead will be there. And it's not. So what is it going to take for the whole of the original lineup in some format, whether it's, McCarroll or Alan White, Gwigsy, what is it going to take to get them all on there? Is it going to be the Definitely Maybe anniversary? We'll have to wait and see. Maybe they will surprise us second half of this year and announce a full tour. Well, maybe not a full tour, just a few stadiums and a festival, and with everyone back together. We're going to have to wait and see. But I think it's definitely happening and it's already been spoke about. Now, to throw not a spanner in the works, but to talk about what's the story in Morning Glory, because that is also not that far away. Alan White was on Instagram posting some pictures not a few weeks ago. And to coincide with the anniversary of that, he has been putting pictures of What's the Story Morning Glory demos that he said he's just found. They're on screen now, like they're just there at the back of a drawer, things like that just feel weird. It's just too coincidental, you've got Liam and Noel talking about one thing, then you've got Alan White who's just there going, yeah, look, I just found these What's the Story Morning Glory demos just hanging around. These aren't just coincidences, these things are happening and it's real. I don't think people have got to worry. It's happening. So now let's move on from Oasis and let's talk about Blur for a bit. Now, last month Blur was doing the warm-up gigs and it looked really great and there was pictures online and stuff and it was really bigging up the fans and they're getting ready for their big Wembley gigs that are coming up soon. Now, in literally days before the warm-up gigs, I can't remember if it was before the first one or after the first one, they announced that they was going to be releasing a new album. And at exactly the same time, they also dropped a new song called The Narcissist. Now that is great news from Blur. New album, love it. New song, love it. The Narcissist. Now the new album is going to be called The Ballad of Darren. It's on screen now and it's got a great cover. And I don't want to say too much about The Narcissist, but it's a good song, but it's not my favourite new song from old bands. There's been a lot of new songs by old bands over the past month, and they're going to be in another video coming up soon, but it's not my favourite. It's good, and I'm looking forward to the album, but I want to hear more. I want to hear more of the Ballad of Darren. So, yeah, I'm going to look out for another video coming soon. Old bands, new music. Definitely wait for that one. So, let's talk about the album Ballad of Darren. It's coming out on CD. Coming out on vinyl. There's special gift packages like there has been in past when other bands have been releasing new albums or whatever. You know what I mean? So now the CD is coming out at £16 upwards for including postage. You know what I mean? Now for a new CD, a new album, that does seem a little bit on the steep mark. I was expecting around £11. So, you know what I mean? It's like CD. I'm going to leave a link in the video, in the comment down below, to a video I watched recently about not new artists, but artists who are releasing CDs. CDs seem to be making up a lot of the sales of new albums over vinyl. Like I think in the video it talks about Harry Styles and Ed Sheeran. Definitely Ed Sheeran. I'm not too sure about who else, but CDs are making up the majority of sales for albums. So at that price, people are still going to buy it and it's going to be great, but I think a lot of people are going to go buy the CD. And I've ordered it. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, CDs are making up a lot of sales in the minute of new music material, and it's getting bigger it's slowly outselling vinyl. But speaking about the vinyl, now Blur have gone all out to milk the vinyl cash cow, if you understand what I'm saying, because they've not only released one black edition of the vinyl, they've released 6 editions of the vinyl. You've got black, you've got grey, you've got red, you've got marble, let me check it, yep, ocean blue, and you've also got, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a picture, and when the vinyl spins round, it moves and creates that graphic illusion of that it's, you know, animated as it goes round. And for the Ballad of Darren, there's somebody swimming. It looks like he's swimming as it goes round. So definitely they're throwing that at the vinyl collectors and the Blur collectors. You know I'm talking to you. You're going to go out there and you're going to buy them all. Let me know in the comments below what you're buying from the Ballad of Darren. Are you going for just the black vinyl? Are you going for all 6? Are you going for the red, the blue? Please let me know in the comments. I want to know what you're looking for out of these Blur editions. Now these are going to be, from what I've seen, £25 to £30, which is a good price for new vinyl albums. It's a very good price. So definitely you've got more of a bargain there with the vinyl than you have the CD, which is strange nowadays. It's normally the other way around. But honestly, I'm just happy that they're releasing it on CD, because some of the bands over the past couple of years have only released stuff on vinyl and not catered towards the CD collectors. So I'm happy that it's coming out on CD. Now, unfortunately, last month, the Britpop Revival show on Phonic FM was going to do a Scandinavian Indie 90s special. Unfortunately, it had to get cancelled, and it's going to be done at a later date. But Nick has said it's definitely going to be rescheduled. So definitely, it's going to be a show that includes bands like The Wonder Dies, Grass Show, and The Cardigans. You know, 90s indie pop bands, Britpop bands, you could say. Maybe The Wonder Dies definitely in there, that were influenced by or influencing bands and vice versa of the 90s. Big songs, you know what I mean? But he said that this Scandinavian show is going to be there. Nick, I love Nick. He does a great show, and it's going to be definitely worth checking out. If you don't follow the Britpop Revival show, go check them out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Get on there, then you can catch it, because there's going to be some great bands you know from the 90s, but there's also definitely going to be some obscure bands you've never heard of, and it's definitely going to be worth checking out. So yeah, go follow the Britpop Revival show. Now, in November, there is going to be a Britpop film coming to your cinema. Now, I say your cinema, I can't guarantee it's going to be a local cinema or every cinema up and down the country. All I know is that it says, it's on the poster, coming to cinemas. Now, it is called Britpop, the story of a music phenomenon. Now, two things I'm taking away from the poster. One, it's just going to be a bog standard Britpop chat about Blur versus Oasis. That's because of the big picture of Liam squaring up to Damon in the middle at the famous charity football match that they took part in. You know, we've all heard that story before. We've all seen this picture a million times before. It puts me off it a little bit. I'm not looking forward to it. Underneath, you've got the big four, Oasis, Blur and Suede and Pulp mentioned. I'm hoping it's going to be more like the Channel 5 programme that didn't dwell on them too much and went more in depth to what was going on in the 90s and behind the scenes, and including more bands and more people talking about how they felt at the time. That's what I want to see in this film. I'm not holding my breath. I don't think I'm going to see it.